Have you ever really thought about how that coffee you're drinking got here from Ethiopia? Or how your smartphone made its way from South Korea? Well, that whole intricate dance of global trade that makes modern life possible, it's going through a massive revolution. The old rules of just being cheaper and faster are out the window. So today, we're going to unlock the 5 essential tools that are building the smarter, more resilient supply chain of tomorrow.
You know, after all the shocks we've seen in the last few years, pandemics, canals getting blocked, you name it, this is the big question on everyone's mind. Is this invisible network that our entire way of life depends on, is it actually ready for what's coming next? And the honest answer is nope, not without a serious upgrade.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we need to understand the new rules of the game for globalization. Then, we'll dive into our 5 key tools: analytics, digital twins, IoT, control towers, and finally, blockchain. And then we'll pull it all together to see how they create this powerful integrated system.
Okay, so before we get to all the shiny new tech, we've got to understand the problem they're trying to solve. The entire landscape of global trade has basically been redrawn, and the old maps just don't work anymore.
For decades, the playbook was pretty simple, right? You'd make something in the cheapest factory, stick it on the slowest, cheapest boat, and you knew it would eventually get there. It was predictable, it was stable. Well, that era of calm seas is officially over. We are sailing right into a storm of volatility, and those old maps are completely useless.
And here's the thing, these pressures don't happen in a neat little line. They all feed into each other. A conflict somewhere can spark a shipping crisis. A single viral video can create a crazy demand shock for some random product. And all of this is happening while companies are being pushed to be more sustainable and are literally drowning in data they don't know what to do with. It is, no joke, a perfect storm.
So how in the world do you navigate a storm like that? Well, our first tool is all about building a lighthouse. It's about making a huge shift from just reacting to crises to actually seeing them coming. It's about turning that fire hose of data into a real strategic advantage. So what is predictive analytics, really? Just imagine a super-powered weather forecast, but for your stuff. It's not just looking at past sales. No, it's analyzing everything, weather patterns, social media trends, shipping delays, to predict what you're going to want to buy next week, or even which port is about to get totally gridlocked.
And the impact here is just staggering. A 40% reduction in forecasting errors. That isn't just a number on a slide. For a grocery store, that means millions of dollars in food that doesn't go to waste. And for you, it means the difference between finding that one thing you need for dinner and going home empty-handed. We're talking about efficiency on a massive scale.
Okay, so if analytics gives you the forecast, our next tool basically lets you run a flight simulator for your entire operation. I mean, what if you could stress test your whole supply chain against a hurricane or a trade war, but in a virtual world where nothing actually breaks? Well, that is the magic of a digital twin. The way this works is just fascinating. You start by creating a perfect virtual copy of your entire network, every single factory, truck, and warehouse. Then you plug it into the real world by feeding it live data streams. And now, you get to play God. What happens if we reroute all our ships? What if our main supplier suddenly goes offline? You can find all the breaking points and fix them before they ever happen in reality.
But look, those amazing virtual models are only as good as the real-world data you feed them. So where does all that data come from? Well, it comes from giving every single item in the supply chain its own digital voice, all thanks to the Internet of Things, or IoT.
The leap forward here is absolutely huge. Think about it. The old way was kind of like getting a postcard. You'd get a scan when a container leaves, and then another one when it, hopefully, arrives. The new way, it's like having a live GPS feed. These sensors can tell you a shipment's exact location, if it's getting too hot or too cold, or even if someone's tried to tamper with it, all in real time.
All right, so now we've got predictions, we've got simulations, and we have a total tsunami of data pouring in from millions of sensors. How does a single human being possibly manage all of that information? Well, you build a mission control for your supply chain. You build a control tower.
And just to be clear, we're not talking about a physical building with people in it. A control tower is a digital dashboard that gives everyone a single source of truth. As you can see, the main focus, the biggest piece of the pie, is just real-time visibility, just knowing where everything is. But it also helps you optimize costs and manage risks. It's basically the cockpit that lets a pilot fly the plane, pulling all the different instrument readings into one clear view.
And really, it all boils down to this one simple idea.
The control tower is designed to replace thousands of spreadsheets and endless email chains with one single clear picture. It turns the complete black box of global logistics into a transparent, manageable network.
Okay, on to our final tool. This one tackles two of the oldest demons in the history of global trade, mistrust and paperwork. And this is where blockchain and automation step in to build that trust and just slash all the inefficiency. You should think of these two as a 1-2 punch. First up, blockchain creates this digital ledger that's shared, totally secure, and, this is the key part, can't be changed. So everyone, no matter where they are, sees the exact same version of the truth. Then, automation runs on top of that trusted data. Things like smart contracts, which are basically self-executing digital agreements, can automatically release a payment the second a shipment is confirmed. Little bots can handle all the mind-numbing data entry. It's about creating a system that runs on trust and code, not on faxes and phone calls. So, let's bring this all together, because the real magic here isn't in any one of these individual tools. It's in how they all connect to form a single intelligent nervous system for all of global trade.
Okay, let's just replay that scenario of a storm hitting a major port. Analytics sees it coming and predicts the port closure a week in advance. The digital twin immediately simulates 3 different alternate routes and picks the fastest, cheapest one. IoT's sensors on the actual container provide a constant real-time feed as it travels along its new path. The control tower gives the manager a complete bird's-eye view of everything, and blockchain automatically handles all the new customs paperwork and payments. It's a seamless, self-correcting system.
At the end of the day, this is the big takeaway. We are moving from a dumb, reactive chain of events to a smart, proactive network. And why does that matter to you? Well, it means your packages arrive on time. It means the food on your grocery store shelves is fresher. It means the entire system is more sustainable. It's really about building a more reliable and resilient world for every single one of us.
So, these 5 tools are busy solving the bottlenecks of today. But that does leave us with one final question to think about. As we solve for things like visibility and efficiency, what new bottlenecks are going to pop up? Will it be a shortage of skilled people to manage these new systems? Or maybe it's something we can't even predict yet. Now that is the next chapter.